Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and today I just wanted to share with you some pickups that I've made here in the last month or so. I'd say about actually 6 weeks. I've been sick and been kind of laid up, but I'm back, and I feel really good today. Had a great day. Worked today, which was awesome. So let's get to the pickups. That's what you're here for, and I've been wanting to share this with you for a long time. So I'm going to give Sega a lot of love tonight. Went into my pawn shop kind of as an afterthought. We just thought we'd go in and check it out, and certainly surprised me. Had several Sega Genesis complete in box games that he'd gotten in. And one thing about my pawn shop here locally, it's Patriot Pawn, Sterling, Colorado. The guy, he always works with me. If I'm wanting to buy several games or, make a bundle, he'll give me a good discount. And he did that that day. So one of the first games that I got, Shadowrun. Now this one is without the manual, so he had a different price if it didn't have the manual in it. So this is case and cartridge only. It's been a game that I've really been wanting for quite a while. It's a good RPG, action RPG, and Shadowrun. It's completely different than the SNES game, so that's interesting as well. But it's different on the Sega Genesis than it is on the Super NES. The Super NES game I hear is a pretty good game as well. Another one that I had traded off as a loose cart. Really happy to find it complete in box. Landstalker. Yeah, it's got the manual with it, and yeah, I got that right. So the real Bit Wars. You do not have to be mad at me. My Sega Genesis cartridge is aligned correctly. So yeah, Landstalker. It's kind of like a Zelda clone, but on the Genesis. Yeah, it's a really good game, good action RPG, and I'd almost call it an adventure RPG, because it's more of an adventure game. Then a game that I've really been wanting, and I love the cover art on this game, and it didn't come with a manual, unfortunately. It's just cart and case, but that's Outlander. Now this came out originally, it was going to be a Mad Max game, and it's basically you're driving, there's some road combat with some motorcycle guys that come up on you, and some other cars and other vehicles, and then there's also a side-scrolling area where you get out of your vehicle and you collect certain things, you get back in your vehicle and take off. Really cool game. Frame rate is not that great, but you can see how this is totally a Mad Max game. And then I think something happened with the license or something, and they ended up calling it Outlander. Really cool game, though. I do recommend it. It is kind of a deep cut for the Sega Genesis. It's not real well known. Two games that I really, really wanted, and have never come across in the wild, of course. Never found a good enough deal on eBay to make it happen either. And that is Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Sorry, Wonder Boy in Monster World. I've been wanting this game for quite a while. It's a platformer RPG type game. It's kind of hard to explain, and I've only played probably about 30 minutes of it. Really cool, super bright, vivid graphics. Really cool game, and one that I completely missed out on back in the day. I don't know if it was just, the cover art maybe that made me think it was maybe like a kid's game, but it's not. I mean, it's a great game, and really happy to find this out in the wild, and happy to take this home and be able to play it. And the other one, this one blew my mind, and it's in excellent condition too. Haunting, starring Poltergeist. Let's see, the manual is just excellent. The cart, the case is really in good shape too. Of course, it's got that big, thick EA case, which is cool. This game is a lot of fun. I've never played this game before, and I'd heard so many good things about it, and I actually got to play it. And basically you go around and you haunt certain objects in a house, and you're trying to scare the family out of the house to where they move, they leave the house, they flee from the house. And it's really cool, man. It's top-down perspective, kind of a three-quarters, I guess, perspective. Really fun, and just I have never played a game like this. So unique, and it's climbing in price. So when I found this, out in the wild, I was just beside myself. I couldn't believe it. It's the first one I grabbed off the shelf, of course. And so yeah, I was really happy to take some really good Sega Genesis complete in-box games home from the Pawnshop. Awesome experience. Got an awesome deal on them. I made that day where I'd been sick for like a month, and I felt so good that day. That just made it even better. So very cool. All right, now a few of my my internet orders, my eBay orders. I got a really good deal on a couple of Sega Saturn Japanese import games, and I have the pseudo Saturn cartridge to where I can play imports and I can play backups on my Sega Saturn. And so I went ahead and pulled the trigger, if you will. I got the light gun. This is the Sega Saturn Japanese light gun. The color, I love the black color to it. Very cool. And I got Virtual Cop 2 with it. And Virtual Cop with it as well. And as you can see, the light gun works great, by the way. Hopefully I didn't mess up my camera there. But both games are just in really, really good condition. The discs are minty as well. Put both of them in, played them for a while. Man, it's a lot of fun. It's like having an arcade game in your home, man. So very pleased with that. Alright, so then I did make a few other pickups, and I had neglected my Dreamcast forever, and so I finally, decided I needed to make a few Dreamcast pickups, get my Dreamcast library up there, and get some games that I've really been wanting to play on the Dreamcast that I've never been able to play. And the first one that I got there is Blue Stinger. Now this is case and manual. I mean, game and manual. The case, of course, is not the Dreamcast original case, but I got the manual with it and got a really good price on it. That's why I decided to get it. Very cool game. I played about 30 minutes of it. I'm going to play more of it. And if you kind of think of, it's kind of like Resident Evil, really over the top though. And it's not zombies that you fight. Really cool things about this game though. I love the terrible acting, the terrible voice acting. You got a lot of that 90s terrible voice acting, and that stuff is cool to me. I love it. It's nostalgic, and so yeah, I had to get it. Next one would be Daytona USA. This is probably the best version I've played. Now I know that there's a version on Xbox Live. I don't know if it's still for sale or not, but it's really good, I hear, as well. But man, the Dreamcast version is excellent. I've heard some people complain a little about the control. Man, I played at least 2 hours of it the other night. And there's a lot of options, a lot of tracks. There's a championship mode that you can go through. Really, really dig Daytona USA on the Dreamcast. It's an excellent version. You don't got all that pop-in. Graphics are amazing. Sounds like the arcade. Man, great game. This is one that my cousin Thomas said that I think this is the one he said that him and my other cousin Matt played and put a lot of hours into and got a lot of fun out of. And that's Zombies Revenge. And this is kind of a beat 'em up, but you got weapons. and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's in like the House of the Dead universe type, if I'm correct. Haven't played a whole lot of it, but I know that there's special moves that you can do and some strategy that you need to get good at it. But it's an arcade game, and ported to the Dreamcast. Looks great, sounds great, a lot of fun. The gameplay is fun. Haven't got that deep into it yet though, but really glad to have that one. And then a disc only, and I've tried not to do this anymore, the disc only, because it's so hard to collect the manuals and the cases later on. But I just I got such a good price on this one, I couldn't turn it away. Record of the Lotus War. This is like it's a Diablo clone on the Dreamcast. It's very well made, and I haven't played a whole lot of it, but man, what I have played, it is a lot of fun. I put probably about 45 minutes into it, and I got a good save spot on my VMU for it. And then a game that I had played on my Dreamcast, I got it $99.99. Me and my buddy, we got off work, we went right to, it was, we live in Sterling. They had it at Kmart in Fort Morgan, back when there was Kmarts. And so $99.99, me and my buddy, right after work, man, we drove down to Fort Morgan, about 45 miles away, and picked up our Dreamcast. So freaking happy, and I got NFL 2K, and I think it was 2K. Is it 2K is the first one, 2K1, and then 2K2. But got the first football game that was available for it, NFL 2K, and man, I was so happy with it. But it came with a demo disc, and on the demo disc it had Sonic Adventure. It had a little bit that you could play, a demo version. So I never owned the game, and I always wanted to after playing that demo, so I finally got Sonic Adventure. They're a really good deal on this, and I mean, it's in excellent condition. Disc is flawless, really. And then a trade that I had made with a buddy in the trade group that I belong to, and I'll leave a link to his channel, Bilbo Baggins. We made a trade, and I got Gauntlet Legends from him for the Sega Dreamcast. Man, I love this game, and I love the arcade version. And this is probably the best home port that you can get for Gauntlet Legends. It's excellent, and yeah, love it. Had it back in the day. Put a lot of hours into it. Me and my nephew would play it a lot, and so I'm glad to pick that one up. Alright, so I also have been on a PS1 kick, as you know, and I've been watching a lot of hidden gem videos on the PS1, and one game that always kind of pops up on 2 or 3 different people who put it out. First one, of course, was Metal Jesus that I saw it on, and I've always kind of wanted it, but it's Future Cop, there we go, LAPD. And this is a overhead mech game. It's playing on the Sony Trinitron right here. It's really cool, man. You go in, you have a mission, you have certain things that you need to do to complete that mission, and you got to get through the level. A lot of explosions. You can find power-ups, to refill your armor, to refill your ammo, and really cool stuff, man. And I'll tell you what, it has a lock-on system. So when you're getting, you kind of see an enemy, it'll lock onto that. And it's done very well. I mean, you don't fight that lock-on at all. It plays great, man. The gameplay is awesome. Things blow up great. It looks awesome on the PS1. So, and then a game that I've always wanted on my PS1. I don't know why. I've got it on my PC. But there's just something about having it on the PS1. I finally was able to get a fairly good deal on it. Probably still paid more than what I usually would pay for a game. But Diablo for the PS1. Man, this game, it's amazing that this thing runs on the PS1, and it's a really good version of Diablo. And one of the things, so I think it's I don't know, it's like 3/4 of the memory card that it takes when you save a game. So you know, you kind of, it's like one of those like a football game, you know, a sports game that would take like the whole memory card to save a season, or you know, whatever. But man, this was in, yeah, it's just in excellent condition. Really happy to have this. I love just the artwork and the way that disc looks. I mean, is that awesome or what? And I've put probably 6 hours in the Diablo and gotten pretty far down into the dungeon. Man, it's awesome. I will give you a pro tip. Diablo on the PS1, save often. If you don't, you're going to be sorry. Alright, and then a game that I used to rent on launch when I got my PS1. It's kind of that first year, maybe first 2 years that it was out, but the game was everywhere, and it was so much fun, especially multiplayer, and that's Twisted Metal. So I finally got my own copy of Twisted Metal, and got a really good deal on this. Got this for $35, and even though, you know, it's the greatest hits one, man, they're still expensive. Twisted Metal is not a cheap game, man. It's kind of funny because it's an early launch game, so it's kind of bare bones. But the nostalgia's just kicked right in when I put it in tonight and played it. So really happy I got it, and I felt comfortable paying $35 for it. So, and another PS1 game that I was finally able to pick up. I've been wanting this game for a while, and it's not expensive, but I just never pulled the trigger on it. And it's kind of one of those forgotten PS1 games, maybe a hidden gem. I know people are tired of that term, but it's one of those games out there that I really I was attracted to it because it has a lot of full motion video, and it's kind of like, it's almost like an old PC game, but it's Colony Wars, and a lot of space fighting in space, completing missions, and there's a whole different campaign that you can go on, and there's different endings to it. And played through a first couple of missions in the first campaign, and really enjoy it. Last game, really cool game that I picked up, and I got this for $32, I want to say, on sale on the Bitmap Brothers website. Xenocrisis for the Neo Geo CD. It's just done really well, of course, and you can see the disc and the manual, full color manual. Just done really professionally. Plays great, and really love that game. Love Xenocrisis anyway, but to have a physical copy to play on your Neo Geo CD is amazing. So, all right, man. Well, that's it. That's all my pickups here in the past 6 weeks. Really been wanting to get this video out there and share some of these great pickups with you, and some of the experiences with you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and really do appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day.